All right, welcome to the 5 a.m. grind. Harris, what's up, man?
Not much. What's up with you?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. How's business? How's life?
Can't complain, man. It's busy.
Yeah.
You know how business
Wrapping
is.
up 2021 on a good note.
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. Okay. All right. So we haven't done this in a little while. We skipped a
We're rusty. We're rusty.
We've skipped a couple of episodes. But I did want to let our audience know, though, that you and I are thinking about, we might be making a couple of tweaks and changes as the podcast moves on to 2022.
I think both of our, they were already jam-packed as it was.
Schedules?
Yeah. And then we're trying to, we used to record in the mornings and record any moment we've got.
Yeah.
But it's a huge kind of, drain in time to come into the studio and record, set up, all that stuff, build it, tear it down, all that kind of stuff that goes with it. So we were thinking of YouTube or Zooming it?
Yeah, maybe doing it over Zoom, just like a lot of other podcasters do their interviews over Zoom. So we're thinking of doing something like that. So it's just easier for Horace and I to coordinate our timings and be able to record the podcast. Then we're able to pump out episodes like one every week.
Yep.
Pretty easy, no problem. There'll be no skipping. This requires a bit more coordination because it requires you and I to be at the same spot at the same time.
It has to be scheduling. It has to be just a lot of editing behind it. A lot of just build up again, tear down. There's a lot of, work that goes into it that people don't see. Mm-hmm. And so we want to get more content out faster.
Yeah, keep it
relevant,
consistent. I feel like consistency is the name of the game.
Yeah.
In other news as well, this is like a shameless plug, but I'm also starting my own YouTube channel, which is sort of related to my accounting firm, Vertical CPA. The YouTube channel is called The CFO, so I'll be pumping out videos on that channel as well.
And when did you start it?
I started it 2 weeks ago.
Okay, and how many videos do you have?
2.
Okay. I've seen them, and they're pretty good, so you guys definitely should check out and subscribe.
Yeah.
I think that kind of content is needed. I don't think there's a lot of stuff. I haven't seen any stuff like that out there.
Yeah, there's very little. So basically what I do is break down finance and accounting concepts so that founders, investors can basically understand.
So what is your kind of target audience?
My ideal audience would be somebody that doesn't understand financial jargon or financial statements in general, but they run a company and they would like to learn a bit more. Yeah. That would be my ideal audience.
Okay.
Yeah.
So definitely check it out if you have any need or even just to, hear other talk.
There you go.
It's pretty good,
the CFO channel.
I felt it was entertaining, even though I've got guys.
I'm trying to make accounting and finance sound entertaining.
Yeah, no, it was pretty good. I really liked it. I enjoyed the videos that you had sent.
Nice, sick. All right, so along the same lines, I thought the topic we could talk about today is social media for business. You and I both use social media to generate business, et cetera, and just social media in general. Just wanted to talk about this particular topic. Wanted to cover 4 questions. Number 1, why is being on social media in 2021 important? How do you use social media to amplify your brand? That's number 2. Number 3, should you try to be everywhere or only in some places when it comes to channels? And number 4, what are some of the downsides of being on social media? All right, so being on social media in 2021, important or not important, Horace?
Very important. Doesn't matter what you're doing.
Yeah.
Even if you're like a professional services firm, like ours, accounting or law, you're selling goods, right? Whatever it is, eyelashes or whatever makeup products. You could be a plumber, right? Yeah. Whatever it is, as long as you can create captivating content, and you should be. It's very important to be on social media, I would say.
So you say that without hesitation. Why is that? Have you seen the benefits of being on social media? Is that why?
Yeah, I would say even though I say that, I would say that a firm is guilty of not being on social media as much as we should be. Yeah. But the little that we are, or the amount that we are, it's a huge target for 2022 for our firm. We can see why it's so important. Yeah. It's not like a pie in the sky theory. It's more like, okay, this is one of the first ways that a lot of people will touch our brand before they ever even think of coming in to get your services.
I totally agree. And a lot of searches, what people don't realize is, and this is something that I'm realizing as a new business owner as well, is when you're advertising to somebody or you're selling your services to someone, they're not going to buy it on the spot.
Yeah.
Nobody, like even me, even when I look at a pair of shoes, for God's sakes, I'll look at the shoes that I want. I'm not going to buy them immediately. I'm going to read reviews. I'm going to look at the stuff. I'm going to look at different pictures. And then I'll make a purchasing decision. The services we sell, you would argue, are even higher value than any pair of shoes, right? They cost like thousands of dollars in some cases. So the person that is going to buy your service will take their time and will need to research carefully before they go ahead and engage with you. And the way that you can help them make their decision is be out there. Be out there on social media, have content, basically show them your expertise, how you're a thought leader in this space, and get them to trust you, I think is what it is really.
Yeah. No.
And like for me, I don't even have an office. I'm totally virtual, so I'm totally online. So I have to be there.
Yeah. No, 100%. I would say, but the thing is even if you have a physical presence, you have, like, everybody's making their decisions online.
They
so
are,
you're,
indeed.
so you're going where the decisions are being
Correct.
made, right? Even if you had, like, we have an office, but I would say we're a digital firm. We're digital lawyers. We're not, I mean, before we had people coming in, now we just close our offices off to the public. We don't want people coming in.
Yeah.
Right? COVID or no COVID, we just would rather stay digital.
So you've become virtual.
We've become virtual.
Yeah.
So it's like now, like, I mean, you're here every day. You could see that there's more video production equipment in the office than there is anything else.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
So, yeah. So it's like, all the decisions are made online. And that's also where you want your customer to act.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if, like, they're making a decision somewhere, you're not going to expect them to then see you on a billboard, right? And with a phone number and call that phone number.
Yeah.
Right? Unless, like, I'm not saying billboards are not unnecessary. They're definitely necessary in a marketing strategy that has some kind of complexity, but it's not going to be your first point of contact. Okay? It's more of a reinforcement impression where you know that people in a certain market are getting enough impressions of you, right, online, one way or the other, and then when they see you on a billboard, they're like, oh, this guy, like, this is a big firm.
Yeah.
And there's a reputation that you build behind it, and that way it could help. But if you think that somebody's going to just see your billboard while they're driving, remember the phone number, and call you for the first time, it's very difficult.
Yeah. It's highly unlikely.
Yeah.
Highly unlikely. Okay. Yes. No. We've agreed. I took out some. I was just doing some research on the topic as well as to why being on social media is important in like 2021. One of the good points that I did like was you create like human connections.
Yeah.
You know, and I think business at its core, that is what it is. You're trying to create connections with people, because again, like you're saying, like you just said with the billboard example. You want these people to remember you, and the way to be there all the time, like to be in their face all the time, is to be in social media, because that's where, like I was reading another stat here, I have another one, 70% of social media users log into their accounts at least once per day.
Yeah.
So imagine that. If they're logging into their account that many times, you kind of have to be there for them to remember
100%.
who you are, because they're not going to, like you said, they're not going to see your ad once and just remember who you are.
And also, it's like when you're on social media, you know who's seen it, you know who's engaging, and then you can give them content that they're looking for. So it's more tailored, one thing.
Correct.
The other thing is that they build, like you said, a relationship with you, so you're only attracting the type of clients that are good for you, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, if somebody does not like how our firm conducts business, that's great. Find another law firm. There's tons of them out there. We want people who can understand what we're doing, understand the meaning behind it, the purpose behind it. And when we have all of that, then sure, 100% come down. But if you don't really believe in our work, then we don't want that person as a client, you know? And so with a billboard, you can't convey all of that. You can convey, call me at best, right?
Yeah, no, 100%. The other thing I read as well, which I thought was a good point, is people sometimes give you negative reviews. Being online and on social media, it allows you to respond to some of those reviews sometimes and give your side of the story.
Engagement,
Exactly. Which I thought was quite cool, because some people, they say nasty comments. So you can be out there and prove them wrong.
That's the other thing.
Or
That's
change the narrative.
That's a downside
Yeah.
of social media, I would say.
The
People
negative.
aren't. Yeah. The thing is that okay,
Yeah.
you could have 100 happy clients.
Yes.
None of them are gonna really leave a review. You really have to. It's like pulling teeth.
You have to be proactive and
Yeah.
ask for it.
Yeah. So sometimes even when you ask for it, there's like incentives and all this other stuff. It's like the thing is when you're doing a good job, nobody hears about you. But as soon as you make a mistake and somebody's unhappy, right? Somebody could be having a bad day. You know, it's amplified on social media.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So that's why, that's a downside. But then the upside is, okay, well, you can have enough content and you can address and engage with that person to let everybody else know exactly what kind of person and what kind of firm you are.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. No, interesting. So let's get a bit more specific. How do you use social media to amplify like Treadstone Law? How do you do it?
I mean, we're getting on YouTube. We're definitely we're advertising on YouTube as well, but we're also on Facebook. And it just allows people when they're kind of, I guess, I don't know if YouTube is social media. It's more Facebook, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
Facebook.
I don't know. I throw YouTube in here too, but yeah.
Yeah, but we're on Instagram. It allows the point of our ads now is not necessarily, hey, look at me, right? It's more, here's an invitation to come look at our page and see what we're all about. And when you visit the page, you'll see who we really are about. But we're not really selling anything to you. We're just kind of inviting you. This is what we do, and here, come and learn about our firm and how we can help you. But it's not like, go buy this right now.
Yeah. It's more
Everything
like
must go.
Yeah. It's not a Black Friday sale.
Yeah.
No, understood. Interesting.
What about you?
Yeah, no, same. So what I'm doing feel free to critique me here live.
Okay.
Perfectly fine. So obviously we have the 5 a.m. grind. It's more of like I wouldn't say this is a way for me to, it's kind of like a lead gen thing. A lot of clients could look at the podcast and then say, hi, I saw your podcast.
It's a perfect way to get to understand how we think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Exactly.
And that's very important to take any kind of...
It is. And it builds a relationship, let's be honest, with a lot of your clients. So the podcast is one. It's obviously on YouTube. It's on Apple Podcasts. Some advertise. Well, no, we don't have advertising, but really we have accounts on Instagram, Facebook as well. So that's one. For my firm, I have Vertical CPA that has a LinkedIn page, Facebook, and YouTube. Yeah. Not so much content on YouTube because it... and here's one thing I wanted to bounce off of you. So I was thinking of producing more content under Vertical CPA, just like some of the CFO financial statements 101 stuff, or create a separate channel. So I created a separate channel because I thought that I can sort of create a separate channel under the CFO, like be a thought leader in that and have explainer type videos, but then use that as a top of funnel type content to get people to the accounting firm. And here's my reason before you criticize.
No.
So I think I'm trying to reach not just clients in Canada and et cetera. I'm trying to reach Canada and the US. And I feel like using a brand that sort of goes across borders is helpful. Because let's be honest, bookkeeping in the US and Canada is more or less the same. And the other thing is there are a lot of people that already do a lot of tax videos, CRA type, all that stuff. Like, I don't want to focus on that. I want to kind of have a sort of a more broader focus, if that makes sense.
I mean, I would say that all digital marketing firms that know what they're doing, so there's a disclaimer there, caveat, they will tell you to do that. The reason being is because from what I've seen is, and again, so we don't post anything through Treadstone Law. We do another thing called Hustle and Grit, and we'll just post it through there. The reason why a lot of firms are telling you to do that is because if we're posting under Treadstone Law or under Vertical CPA, we've pigeonholed ourselves.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult to post personal content on something like that, and then you cannot build a relationship.
I agree. I totally agree with that.
So but whereas on the other one, right?
Yeah.
Like with the CFO stuff, people could come in and like understand who you are.
Yes.
Right? And then you can post about vertical CPA, and if they want that stuff, that's fine. Go there.
Yeah.
But then you also have your own stuff
Yes,
where you're kind of
yes,
expressing who you
yes.
are. It doesn't have to be the CFO either, like financial stuff either. You you love photography. You could go start doing something like videos on that, or like skiing or whatever it is. But it's a channel that is an insight into who you are and your kind of principles and all that stuff.
I totally agree. So I was, Neil Patel, the SEO guy.
Yeah.
Okay. So I read his blog quite a bit because his SEO tips are like world class. They're really good. He's one of the best in the field. What I didn't know, and I came across this recently, is that behind neilpatel.com, whatever his site is, where he is like, you think he's writing the blogs. That's what I thought. There's an entire digital marketing agency. Did you know this?
No, he does.
I did not know this. So I came across this. I was like, what?
So it's like a huge funnel. You build a relationship with
Correct.
him, but it's his people help you out.
And I thought I was so trippy because I thought, I had a relationship with him, but no, man, he's got this machine behind this thing. Which I thought was very interesting.
So I seen like most firms are doing that. You know what I mean? I felt like that. I had that kind of hesitation initially. Where it's like, hey, if I'm presenting something, right, and then somebody comes to my firm, lawyer, somebody else, it's not about that. It's about, hey, I am the vision, all right?
Yeah.
And I am training all the people, and they understand, even though they take accountability, but I am the one who's kind of steering the company, right? But at the same time, obviously, I'm not going to be doing your work. It's like Elon Musk. It's not like he's building your car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even the engineering, he has a team of engineers,
Correct.
but he's the man behind everything.
Yeah.
So it's definitely like if you can have a brand to yourself and let people know who you are, then I think it's just easier for them to know what your company's about too, right?
Yeah. I would say that for human beings, it's hard to build a relationship with like a pseudonym or like, someone anonymous, like a company. It's hard. It's really tough. You'd want to know at least the individual or the individuals behind the company. You'd want to get to know them.
I mean, if you look at Nike, Nike, everybody loves Nike.
Yeah.
During COVID, the one store that always had a lineup was Nike.
Correct.
But they also sponsor 95% of NBA players.
Yeah. Right? And that's the human side of the brand, right? Like Nike, when you tell me Nike, like to me in my head, it's synonymous with Jordan because like, my God, that guy was the brand.
Yeah.
Right?
So, and that's what I think Under Armour figured out too very quickly.
Yeah.
And they were just throwing money behind, I think it was Tom Brady or whoever it was to get them to endorse it. And when they did, that's how they launched, even though they were going up against a behemoth like Nike.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's definitely something where you can't just have a brand. You can never have a brand. You always have a face, right? Microsoft is Bill Gates. There's Microsoft, but Bill Gates is a genius.
Correct.
Apple has
Jobs still.
Yeah. He's a legend on its own. If he touches something else, right? Like if he was alive and he touched something else, people would start chasing
People would start chasing him. 100%.
And if he said screw Apple, people would say screw Apple.
Yes, they would.
You know what I mean? Overnight. So it's not Apple.
Because he is the visionary.
Yeah.
He is the visionary. Yeah. That's very true. Very true. It's a good way to put it. Number 3. So do you try to be everywhere, or do you try to like pick your spots and pick your channels?
Right now, I would say we are picking just because I would say...
Dude, it's tough to be everywhere. I'll tell you that.
You need an entire team.
You need a team. For example, for vertical CPA, I have the LinkedIn thing going. I don't have a lot. I have one YouTube video and stuff like that. Dude, it is tough to be everywhere. It's a freaking full-time job if you were to try to do that. It's a full-time job. I'd say you're absolutely right. Pick your channels, stick to those, double down. Yeah. And if you want to build out the other ones, then to be honest with you, you have to hire a team. It's a lot of work. On top of the regular work you have to do as a business owner.
In the beginning, I would say depending on what industry you're in and what you want to accomplish, pick a channel, maybe 2, right? But I would say definitely though, one thing is in the long run, you have to be everywhere.
Yeah.
That should be your goal, but it shouldn't be your goal on day one. Your goal on day one is, I got limited resources, time. Once you've got an entire team, then, because it's not as simple. It's not even as simple as hiring like a media manager. You know what I mean? You gotta in the long run, if you're everywhere and you're developing good content, you need to have people who help you produce that content, who help you edit that content, who place it in different areas, who recycle that content.
Yeah.
That's like half a dozen people right there, man, who are
That's
like
all.
helping you if you want to be consistently in every single channel.
Yeah.
But that's also like the entrepreneurial journey, right? That's like the fun of it all.
Yeah.
As your business grows, and you can captivate people. Like in the beginning, on day one, you don't even have that many followers, so it doesn't even make sense to be everywhere. It doesn't make sense to have a team. But as you slowly grow, you're like, all right, now I need to like.
No, it's true. It's true. The other thing I wanted to go back on, just that second question. Everything online now is also being surrounded by this concept of community building, right? You have these fans that are fans of your brand, right? You target, I'd say, mortgage brokers. Is that right?
I mean, mortgage brokers, realtors. I mean,
right.
and we're going straight to client as well. But yeah, we do have communities.
Building communities. Which I think is really important because, again, these people then become devout followers of your brand and who you are. And when there is like bad press or negative criticism, they're able to stand there and defend you. Right?
Yeah. So we also are, there's the defending, but once you have a loyal community, it goes both ways at that point. Right? If you advertise and somebody comes in, it's very transactional. Once you build a community, I feel like you owe something back to the community.
Right.
So you also want to help them out in a meaningful way, other than just providing them the service or keeping it at a monetary transaction. For mortgage brokers, we're always trying to think of the individuals who are helping us spread our brand. We want to figure out ways that they can spread their brand, So it's not just about like, and this is a shameless plug, but
no, go ahead.
But so that's why we earnestly try to create services that will help them build their brand. And one of the things is like we just launched 2 weeks ago mortgage fulfillment. Nobody else has that anywhere.
No other law firm does this.
No, I mean no law firm. It's not even under the law firm. It's under a management consulting firm.
Right.
But nobody offers this product, and it's only designed to help brokers scale. We're not accepting everybody because we don't want to accept everybody. We want to accept a few people who are loyal and build a community around that.
Yeah.
Because that's a first step to building a business that's like going to go after like the more bigger digital mortgage brokers.
That's fantastic. I love it. Nice. And the same thing. So we covered number 3. Should you try to be everywhere or in some places? Number 4 was actually a listener's question as well. Yeah. That is, what are some of the downsides of being on social media?
It's tiring.
It's tiring, yeah.
Isn't it exhausting?
Yeah, it's like being on a treadmill. You're always required to create content, always, all the time. Yeah. It's like, a lot of social media people say it's like you're trying to feed the beast.
Yeah.
Because you need to be there all the time. Because one of the things, if you want your content to be top of mind and front and center, the algorithms need to know that you're producing all the time so they can take your content, put it in front of everybody. There are a lot of things that sort of require you to produce all the time.
And people are engaging too. It's not just producing all the time.
Correct.
I feel like a lot of times, and what I've seen with brokers, it's like, YouTubers, there's a different trajectory. So some of it lasts like 2 years. Some of it lasts like 6 months. Some of it's 5 years. And I feel like it's happened across YouTube channels that have kind of started and then come down, right?
Yeah.
It's more like in the beginning, you have a lot of content in your mind just because you have like a lifelong, worth of experiences that you could draw upon and build those videos, but you may not know how to build it, right?
Yeah.
And how to make that content. So you figure out very much how you're going to make that content. Once you figure that out, I think you could have like a spurt of good content because you're drawing on good, genuine experiences in your past life, right? Before a YouTuber, right? And then you have the ability to share that story. But then once you're done and you're tapped out, I feel like that's when it starts going down, and then it becomes like
it's tough to
people have breakdowns.
People
break down because they start creating stuff. They create drama to keep it engaging. You know? It happens often enough.
That's true. Do you find, I don't know, do you see any negative comments, stuff like that? No issues?
Oh, no.
Yeah, I don't see that either.
Man,
how
it just
about-
shows we're not popular enough.
Yeah, we're not popular. We don't have these problems. How about, do you like compare yourself to a lot of people? Is there that type of an issue as well, or?
I mean, here's the thing. I don't compare myself in the sense that
Yeah.
like I wish I could be them, but I am always looking at how other people are doing it.
Yeah, just
You know what I
learning.
mean? Yeah. So I felt like even with our podcast, right? Like I'm looking at like how so many other people are just doing it on Zoom, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, if we're busy, why not? Why do we have to kind of come in and do this?
Yes, 100%.
And if we have proper followers, which I think we do, they're here for the content. They're not here to like see our faces in 4K.
No.
Though it's nice, but they're here to see like, what we're talking about.
That's
and kinda
correct.
figure that
That's
stuff out.
correct. I agree. I
So-
like that.
So it's better to produce more of that and maybe a little bit less like lower quality than anything else.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, all right. Well, anything
Yeah.
else you wanted to cover on this topic?
No, I think that's it. If you're on social media, get on it more.
Get on
And
it
if
more.
you're
Hold
not,
on,
get
hold on. I
on
did
it.
have one more question.
Yeah,
I did
yeah.
have one more question.
Yeah.
So I still have a few friends. I don't know if you do. Still skeptical of social media in like 2021, 2022. What would you say to them?
I would say that the reason they're skeptical is they don't see the value.
They don't see the power?
Yeah, they don't see the power.
Mm-hmm.
I think for most people who don't have businesses, for example,
Yeah.
right, and aren't vain, it's difficult. You know what I mean? If you're not entrepreneurially minded, you don't see where the money is, right?
Right.
So it's hard for you. You think that this is just a vanity project. You think these people are just out
Yeah,
there to
for
show
the
themselves.
followers,
Yeah,
blah,
yeah.
blah, blah. Huh?
Yeah, and some people are. I'm not saying they're not, but from
Yeah.
a business perspective, there's money to be made, right? And it doesn't have to be like, oh, like you're being what is it, a snake oil?
Snake oil, salesman.
Salesman, yeah. So there's like real like value behind it, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I could send. You're selling me and you. I think are selling meaningful things that everybody needs or critical.
Yeah.
Right. But if people don't know about us, how are they going to come to us? Right. So we're making a genuine effort to amplify who we are. So if you do want services from us, we're inviting you. We're not forcing you
Yeah,
to come to us.
yeah,
Nor are
yeah.
we lying about anything. I think we're pretty open about, hey, listen to us. If you feel like you can gel with us, if you feel like you believe in what we're saying, if you feel like what we say has purpose and meaning,
Yeah.
I would love to conduct business with you. But if you think we're full of it, then
Yeah.
there's
Interestingly enough, just on the results of social media and being out there. So
Yeah.
I told you, I've taken my my presence on Twitter a bit more seriously. I used to
Yeah.
have a Twitter account,
Yeah,
never
yeah,
used to really engage.
Yeah.
Now I'm taking it a bit more seriously. I'm engaging with people on Twitter, writing threads and all this stuff. So last week, I didn't tell you this offline, so I'm telling you now. I actually got a client call, and the guy, so he booked a meeting with me. He went to my website, booked a meeting with me, and he said, I saw something you tweeted, which is why I booked this meeting.
Oh, nice. Now it's making me think I gotta get.
Do you know how much I paid? I paid on Twitter to get him $0. Nothing.
Yeah.
That was a free lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna become a client. I'm
Wow.
helping him out with something.
Yeah. No, and imagine that at scale.
Yeah.
Imagine that scale. Like
Exactly.
people are like, oh my God, Elon Musk is like so much drama. He's a lot of drama, but behind it all is marketing.
There is,
free
yeah,
marketing,
100%.
free marketing.
I think so, yeah.
Trump
yeah,
did the
he
same thing.
He's not stupid. These people aren't stupid.
Yeah. Trump did the same thing. He's always in the news. Always in the news. Everybody, you hate him or love him.
Yeah,
You
was
knew
always
who
there.
he was.
He got a
man.
lot of free marketing
Yeah,
at
yeah.
that too.
Yeah. Like Biden, man, I don't know if he's still alive, man, because
Yeah, I don't hear
from him.
It's true. It's true. You don't hear
Right?
from him.
Trump was like all the time, nonstop. Oh, did you see what he said? It's so ridiculous.
Yeah,
And
yeah. It's,
on
it's
and on and
actually
on.
freaking amazing. Freaking
Yeah.
amazing. Anyways, all right. Yeah. Any other concluding thoughts on this?
No, I think we covered it, man.
All right, guys. Well, we hope you enjoyed this discussion, and see you guys in the next episode.
Take care, guys.
Take care.